I will say I'm very excited to start featuring some more J Beauty in my hits and misses. And I was just like, whoa, like it actually does leave my skin feeling really soft. It is that super easy to reach toner for literally any skin type. Minasan konnichiwa, this is Tina and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about some May beauty hits and misses. If that sounds like your thing, then please go ahead and channel登録しちゃってください。So it actually has been quite some time since I did my last hits and misses, and a few of you had messaged me being like, are you not doing them anymore? Which, like, I really appreciate the fact that you even noticed. No, it's just that when I travel, I find it hard to test products properly, plus there was just a few videos that I needed to get up before my hits and misses, but it is back this month, so yeah, I hope you guys continue to enjoy them. Let's get into it. I will say I'm very excited to start featuring some more J Beauty in my hits and misses, because in the past I do feel like it was a lot more K beauty, but now that I've been in Japan and put a bunch of products that I will be trying out, there's going to be a lot more J beauty, which I'm really excited about, so I hope you guys are excited about. First product is one from Japan, the Covermark Treatment Cleansing Milk. I was interested in this product for quite some time leading up to my trip to Japan, and I did mention it briefly in my at Cosme video, but it was already on my shopping list, and without even talking to my aunt about it, she messaged me and was like, I really want to try this cleansing milk, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it because it's been on my list for a while as well. So even now when I check at Cosme, which at the time the rankings were updated on June 2nd, in all first step cleanse, this was in 8th place, and then out of milk cleansers, this was in 1st place. And in 2022, so last year, it was actually ranked #1 for the best cleansing product in mid-range price. So it does cost a little bit more than your drugstore cleansers, and they do often sell it at department stores in Japan. I have definitely been enjoying my cleansing milks for probably the past year or so, and I have been talking about them more and more on my channel because they are especially good for people who do have dry skin, which is myself, and they are gentle on the skin. But the only thing is, compared to oil cleansers, milk cleansers do tend to be a little bit lower on the cleansing power, so I generally use it on days that I had no makeup or very light makeup. But that is where this one differs as a milk cleanser, and many reviews I read, it was like, I never thought milk cleansers cleanse this well. I didn't think a milk cleanser would remove my makeup so well, and I completely agree. For a milk cleanser, it has really, really good cleansing power, and it removes even all of my eye and lip makeup. I will say really, really stubborn waterproof like Hero and Make, it does struggle to remove it, but even oil cleansers struggle to remove that. So for a milk cleanser, this has more than enough cleansing power that I can use it even on days that I'm wearing makeup. Plus, for someone with dry skin, the Arayagari, which is like the wash up finish, like how your skin feels after you finish washing it, it feels really moist and so softening to the skin. Like, I was a little bit surprised the first time I used it. I was just like, whoa, like it actually does leave my skin feeling really soft. You do have to use a generous amount. The brand actually specifies to use 3 pumps, and to follow this rule or else it won't have the plentiful cleansing power to remove all of your makeup. So in that sense, it is definitely not cost effective. But if you do have dry skin and wear a fair bit of makeup, this is probably going to be the perfect first step cleanse for you. The texture is super elegant. It comes out as a thick cream kind of texture at first, but with very little effort, it does turn into a more oil-like texture. It also doesn't stick to the skin like some milk cleansers do. Like, as soon as you add water and emulsify and go to wash it off, it does slip off right away. Although it does contain some essential oils for fragrance, which personally I absolutely love. It is like a sweet but complex kind of citrus scent. Yeah, it's such a nice scent. For me, obviously, it has been a hit. Next, I have the Anua 77% Heartleaf Soothing Toner. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I hadn't tried Anua already. Like, I had seen it here and there. I don't know, I guess like nothing quite intrigued me to try it. But after I was in Japan and Korea, it was one of those brands that I saw absolutely everywhere. So I was like, why not? I'll give it a go. I did open it about, I think a week and a half ago, and I have already used this much because it is that super easy to reach toner for literally any skin type. Obviously it's in the name, but it contains 77% of Heartleaf, which is Hotunio Cordata, an ingredient that's going to be soothing, calming, hydrating, low irritation, and can also help with redness and inflammation. It is also a very versatile toner. You can use it as a wipe off toner, you can pat it in like normal, you can use it as a DIY mask because it does have that water light consistency, so it really does work well in every which way. I do get why it's popular, and it is definitely going to be one of those toners that'll be perfect for the warmer weather that's coming up for most of you, especially for those of you who do have oily or acne prone skin, since it does have those soothing and anti-inflammatory properties. Since it is getting cold here in Australia, and honestly my skin is really dry, it is suffering from the dryness lately, I will probably have to put up this toner soon just because it's not quite enough hydration for my dry skin, or I will have to probably layer a kind of second thicker kind of richer toner for my skin personally. But it is vegan and it is literally fragrance free, like not even like no added fragrance, but it smells like the ingredient. Like it literally smells like nothing. I can't smell anything from it. So if you are sensitive to any form of fragrance, this one is 100% literally fragrance free, and yes, it has been a hit. Next, I have the Rovectin Vita Dark Spot Serum. So whenever Rovectin releases a new product, there's always a few of you that message it to me being like, have you seen this? And I absolutely love that because I am just as excited as you guys. And since Rovectin hasn't really done any products to do with the brightening like this one so far, I was very curious, although as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, it is still going to be something that's very gentle and that everyone can use, which is what Rovectin is all about. This next portion of the video is sponsored by Rovectin. It is always a joy to be working with a brand that I absolutely love. So on the actual product itself, it doesn't say it, but on their official site, they actually call this serum a 3-day Vita Dark Spot Serum, and they talk about it helping brightening and evening out your skin tone even in just 3 days. So I took the 3-day challenge, which honestly I completely made up myself. Like it is not even a challenge that they say to do, but I thought I would try it out for morning and night for 3 days and see if there is actually a difference. Here is the clip of the before. I have a couple very obvious spots, like especially on my chin area from some recent breakouts, which I don't expect to disappear from anything that quick anyways, but I also do have a fair amount of just like unevenness in my skin tone and texture. Bear in mind, I have been on antibiotics like twice in the past month or so, and my body and skin is pretty unstable at the moment. Just like, you know, be easy on the judgment, you know. And then here is the after clip. Although it's not drastic, I do feel like my skin seems like brighter and more healthier and even overall. And I will say the lighting is slightly different, but actually the lighting in the before clip was better than my after clip. So I feel like that says something too. I feel like even with the slightly darker lighting, my skin does seem to be kind of brighter overall. And of course they do say best results are after 4 weeks, which is usually the case with all brightening serums. For someone who wants a simple yet gentle kind of everyday product that helps to even out and brighten skin tone, which is me, I think it is the perfect type of product because it is low on that irritation and also has a really nice user experience. It includes vitamin tree extract, niacinamide, arbutin, and 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid, all ingredients that are going to help with that hyperpigmentation. Especially if you're someone who does not like the typical textures of vitamin C serums, you'll probably love this one because it is kind of like a fairly thick gel texture, but it does glide on and kind of absorb into the skin very quick and very comfortably. Since it is fragrance free, I will say it has that very slight hint of that vitamin C scent, if you guys know what I mean, but it is so subtle and you definitely don't smell it on your skin like you can with some vitamin C serums. Lastly, I just appreciate this super cool packaging. Like it doesn't even have a tube that goes down it. It just like goes up here, and I think it's one of those like bottom up ones where it presses all the products so you don't waste it and you can get every drop. So yeah, probably not a surprise, but it has been a hit. Next, I have the Hada Gokujyun Premium Eye Cream. So I did briefly mention this one in my Get Unready With Me video in Japan. I think I've talked about a couple times now, but finding eye creams at a drugstore affordable price was a little bit harder than I thought being in Japan this time, and it is because they often market it as a wrinkle cream rather than specifically an eye cream, which I think automatically like ups the price. So basically any eye cream that I found under about 2,000 yen in a drugstore, I bought it. And Hada is obviously a brand that I absolutely love, so this was just an obvious option to purchase. Many of you guys have asked if eye creams are necessary, and no, they're not. It's just that personally, I find that it actually makes me take care of that eye area. If not, I just won't. Other than these 7 types of hyaluronic acid, this honestly doesn't have very many notable ingredients. And they do talk about it helping more with dryness in the eye area than actual fine lines, which helping the hydration in the area is going to automatically help with the fine lines anyway. To be honest, I was not that impressed. I mean, it hydrated as an eye cream, but for me, the texture was thick, hard to spread, and sticky, which is exactly the opposite of what they say it's supposed to do. Like literally on their official site, it says it spreads well and is non-sticky. And I'm like, well, I literally felt those 2 things. So I don't know what to tell you. In this case, I do feel like there is just not that much of a difference to use the eye cream versus a moisturizer, just because it doesn't have any of those extra ingredients. I still have been loving using my TM Vita A eye cream. I literally used it this morning, so it's on my desk. I've been using it consistently morning and night since I've been back from Japan, just because I'm trying to empty it because I've had it for a while. And Logan actually said like, oh, that line across your forehead is like almost gone. What have you been doing? And I was like, this is like the only cream that I've been using. So in the case of if you are going to use eye cream, I feel like you should go for something that has like a little bit more of an ingredient that's going to help those fine lines. So yeah, unfortunately it was a miss, although it was the only eye cream we had open in Japan for the month we were there, like between me and Logan. So it is almost empty and we probably will still use it up, but yeah, bit of a shame from Hada. The lighting has just completely changed from the start of the video. I'm sorry. Should I just move up now? No, it's on my head. Whatever. Next I have the Cosrx Retinol 0.1. I'm gonna just come out and say it. I don't really get retinol, and maybe as a skinfluencer that's like really bad, but having started my skincare journey with Japanese beauty products, retinol was just something that I did not come by often. Since a lot of Asian skincare really does focus on prevention, for example being diligent with sunscreen, hydration, and having like simple skincare routines from a young age, using products like retinol that revert the damage just wasn't something that was very common until recent times. And even my mum and aunt, who are around 60 years old, still don't use retinol. Like I use it and they don't, and their skin is like honestly like pretty damn good for their age. I don't know, it's still quite a mystery for me, but I do get the question quite often, so I do still try to incorporate some form of retinol into my routine. I'm honestly probably not diligent enough with it and still use such low concentrations, but I've never really felt the need for it. It's only because people keep asking me about it, and I feel like that is like totally okay. The same with how not everyone uses eye creams or toners. Not everybody feels the need to use retinol, you know? I don't know if there's anyone else who agrees with me out there, but I hope there is. That being said, this is still a lovely one. In terms of texture, great. In terms of irritation, there has been none. Cosrx does market this to be a beginner-friendly retinol, and I do believe it is just that. Although I think the strongest retinol I used, which was Retinol actually, the Medic 8 Retinol 1, I used that and was fine with that as well. So I do think my skin has probably to an extent gotten used to forms of retinol, that this one is still plenty gentle enough that I don't have any irritation with it whatsoever. I can't speak in terms of really long-term results because with retinol in general, it does take like 6 months to a year to multiple years to show true results. But in terms of user experience, accessibility, and affordability, it is a hit. And the last product I have is actually a hair care product, which I don't know if any of you guys realize, but usually I say skincare hits and misses, but I said beauty hits and misses because we had a hair product. And that one is the And Honey Melty Moist Rich Oil. So I guess this hair care brand And Honey has kind of come up in the last few years, unless I just didn't realize, because when I lived there 5 years ago, I feel like I didn't really see it, but I saw it absolutely everywhere this trip to Japan. So during the first week in Japan, I only had brought a small travel size hair serum with me, which is this Korean brand. Honestly, love it. But I felt like I needed a bigger size and I was going to buy a couple hair serums anyway. So I was like, you know, let's go hunt for one. So I went to Donkey and they had so many varieties of this one. I feel like there was like 10 different types. I was very confused, overwhelmed, like I I'm sure most of you guys do feel with J Beauty and Donkey. But I honestly didn't really do much research. I just looked at them and I was like, oh, Moist Rich Oil. I need that because I have damaged hair. I'm sure for the right hair type, this would be lovely, but my hair type is not it. This serum is just way too heavy for my thin kind of frizz-prone hair. So this one just instantly weighs my hair down even if I try to use a small amount, and it is quite hard to get a small amount. Like one pump of this is already too much for my hair. So I actually decided to research about the And Honey serums after I purchased it, which I probably should have done beforehand. This person had written up this graph of all the And Honey hair oils and kind of showed which ones work best for the hair type and the type of finish you want. And funnily enough, I mean not funnily enough, this one was more recommended for people who had thick hair and wanted a rich kind of moist finish. So yeah, no wonder it didn't really suit me, but it does smell so good. Like, oh, it smells absolutely divine, and I still have been using it. I actually have been using it as a pre-shampoo oil because I've been, you know, trying to do some different stuff to care for my hair. And for that, it actually works well because it is really rich in moisture. Unfortunately for me, this particular one was a miss, but it definitely made me want to try the other types and the more lightweight oils that would suit my hair type. And that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the hits and misses. I know it had been a while and I hope it was worth the wait. I also want to apologize for like the lighting change during the whole video, but you know how it is. It's winter and it's this and that here, so whatever. Here are two other hits and misses from a little while ago, but if you liked this kind of type of video, please check them out and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Mwah!